Wow. Wow, it's all I can say. What an episode. This is Power Book 2 Go Season 2 Episode 8 Drug Related. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows with my own thoughts, opinions, whatever. So it's not your typical scene by scene recap. If you enjoy that type of content, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the video, the notification bell, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and get into Power tonight, y'all. I never watch Power Saturday nights, right? Never. But I saw Tariq's name trending before Power even came on, before it was even released on the Starz app. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay up and watch it. And I am so glad I did, because tonight was a phenomenal episode. So let's go and get into it, y'all. So it starts off with Tariq in court, and the prosecution is saying how Davis is going to play the role that Tariq is like Tariq is like, you know, this young kid who didn't know what he was doing, got caught up in the game and trying to survive, whatever. Meanwhile, the real deal is that he grew up privileged. You know, his father had money, had status, and he just kind of chose to go down this life of crime, whatever the case. So when Davis gets on the stand, he plays the card of him being a straight A student that's in advanced classes at an Ivy League school who was just granted custody of his younger sister. And it's kind of like, does that seem like somebody that will be out murdering, right? Ivy League kid, you know, taking on all this responsibility. If he's a murderer, you know, would he be bringing in his little, like, you know, his baby sister into the mix? He's trying to get it out of foster care. Like, he's trying to, like, create a life for him and his sister after everything that has happened, you know, in their past. So the prosecution is like, we have proof that Tariq knew about the book. He knew that he was the source material for the book. And it's in the form of, like, audio straight out of his mouth. So Davis is looking like, when did y'all get that? So they approached the bench, and Davis is like, that was not in discovery. The prosecutor said that, yeah, it wasn't in discovery because we are fearing for this person's life. Whenever somebody takes the stand or is called, you know, a witness, and they're around Tariq or the St. Patrick family for that matter, they end up dead. So that's why. So Davis is telling the judge, like, we need to be able to prepare a rebuttal. So the judge grants Davis access, but says that Tariq cannot hear the tape. Because we all know that Tariq is not in jail. He's out on bond. So he's out really doing the do. So there's no telling, you know, what he can do. So we see Effie and Brayden. They are meeting with some guy named Sweaty to try to get some product. You know, they have to sell this product because Tariq needs money to pay Davis, and so does Kane. So Brayden is being way too chummy with Sweaty. Apparently they know each other, but like, let's get to what we're here to do. And Effie is over it. So she's like, let's just get to what we came here to do. So she goes, puts her finger in, tastes it, and it's like, no, this ain't it. This is stepped on. This is cut. Sweaty gets offended, so they leave. So they're like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? You know, like, we have to get this money. Meanwhile, back at court, the estate owner, Elvin, from The Cosby Show, tells Tariq that there's a family that wants to adopt Yaz. This is what James left in his will, that if the family is completely wiped out, for Yaz to be adopted, for her last name to be changed, for the adoption records to be sealed, so that she can go on to live a better life without having any record of her parents or anything like that. And I'm like, I don't know why they would even let their little girl be up for adoption when Big Mama is just, you know, in a rehab. Like, why wouldn't she stay in foster care? So y'all mean to tell me there is no other family? Like, what about James's parents? We've seen James's father. Like, there is nobody else that can take that baby. But I guess. So Tariq is pissed because he's like, so my dad had all of this set up. So basically, James knew that y'all all was going to fuck up and y'all all was going to fuck over that baby. So he was like, let me put everything in plan to at least save my youngest child. I don't know. Why wouldn't they give the baby back to Tasha? Why wouldn't they find where Tasha is in witness protection and give the baby to her? That doesn't make sense at all. So then we have Davis comes over to Tariq and tells him, where's my money? And if I don't have my money tomorrow, I'm going to let a public defender come in here and walk that ass to 25 to life. So you need to be paying me because that's how I'm going to keep you out of jail because it's not looking good for you right now if they have a tape. So back at the house, Monet walks into Diana's room and asks her where are her father and Drew. Diana says she doesn't know. No one tells her anything. So while Monet is talking to her, she keeps getting these these text messages from Dante. So she was like, well, you need to start letting me, you need to start telling me what you know so I can start trusting you again. Because we know that Diana has lost her mother's trust because she has been, because she stole the money and all this other stuff. So Diana was like, okay, so who is that on the phone? And Monet is kind of like, this is Zeke's agent, whatever. I got to take this call. She leaves. Diana follows her out to her bedroom and she overhears her on the phone talking to Dante, talking about we can't be together, stop calling me, this is over, whatever type of stuff. So Diana is putting two and two together because last episode she saw that text message that it's like, we need to talk from the letter D. So we see Lauren is sitting in chambers and she is trying to plead her case with the prosecutor, the woman prosecutor, to not have to testify because she doesn't want Tariq to know that she's like this big star witness that has him on tape. And her parents are like, you got to testify because you were the one that got caught with drugs. And then her father was like, even your brother was, even at his highest, he never was dumb enough to get caught. So, her parents are over her because it's kind of on some, you saw what path your brother went down with the drugs. So for you to kind of go down the same path, her parents were over her. Just disgusted, disappointed. And I just kind of feel like Lauren should have called her parents right away. I said that, I say that every episode, every time I watch this. Your parents have money, your parents have pull, your parents have reach. The drugs were literally not yours. So I don't know why Diana didn't call her parents that moment instead of letting Carrie, get up in her ear. But point blank, Lauren does not want to take the stand, but right now she has no other choice. So then we see Diana is now looking through Monet's room. And I'm like, she gonna come in, find you and yoke you up. But she's looking through Monet's room, rifling through everything. And she finds a Bible in a shoebox. Inside the Bible is a baby picture. The Bible is from a hospital. So Diana calls the hospital and asks for Zeke's birth certificate from 2002. And then we hear her saying, what do you mean you don't have one? So I said, the shit's about to get popping. Because Diana is looking at this baby picture. It ain't Poppy. It's not Monet. And she knows it's not her and her siblings because it wouldn't be tucked away in the book. So Zeke, because, Monet, she low-key treats Zeke better than she treats the rest of them. So we see Tariq is calling Monet to set up. He calls Monet and agrees they all meet up so they can set up a plan to get drugs from Mecca by using DTG as a scapegoat kind of. Initially, Kane doesn't want to do it. Kane wants nothing to do with Tariq because he's so mad that Tariq came in and had course correct going and it was working out for them. But Tariq tells them Braden is going to be the guy to go into the building to distract them. Because, he's a white boy. Let's use this white privilege. So Kane is cool, but we're going to need Drew as well. So they approach Drew, Kane and Monet. And basically, you got to kill Lil Guap because he would be the easiest target. Drew was nope, I want to take the shot. And Kane was you? And I want to say Drew is a killer. Don't sleep on Drew. So they have this back and forth where Drew was out. That's the only way I'm going to be involved in this. But we got to find a way to distract Daddy and Diana. So what they're going to do is have Tariq use Diana to come support him at his trial. And then Monet is going to have to spend some time with Lorenzo, who she apparently hates his guts right now. So, but she's going to go ahead and do it. So Davis is talking to Tariq in his office, and he's asking him, like, who have you been talking to? Tariq is very steadfast on nobody. Which he hasn't. So Davis tells him, not according to my laptop. Now, I could play it, but then that would, put the firm at liability. That would put, me, Saxe, our what is it called? Our licenses, our whatever. Like, I can't risk that. He was like, but I'm going to go make a phone call and order some dinner. So that kind of tells Tariq, go ahead and listen to it so we can know who it is. Tariq hears the recording of him and Lauren talking when he was in Lauren's brother's apartment that she was going to let Tariq use. So Tariq is pissed. So he's walking out. Saxe comes running after him and it's like, don't take this out on her. Don't go by her. Don't kill her. And Tariq is like, I'm not going to do anything. Saxe dumbass lets it slip that Lauren was not only wearing a wire, but that Carrie put her up to it. So now Tariq is super, super bad. And he's super mad because it's like, I think on one hand, he knows that Lauren was just naive and probably got herself mixed into this, but he's still kind of, like he said about Brayden before, stupidly disloyal. So Saxe knows that he fucked up, but Saxe is like, stay away from everybody. Stay away from everybody. So we see Saxe is sleeping with the prosecutor the morning of the trial, and Saxe tries to kiss her. She's pissed because she was like, it's one thing for us to be sleeping together when we're opposing counsels, but you trying to kiss me? We not together. Saxe wants to be together with her though. So Saxe, they're talking about the case, and Saxe let it slip that he knows that Lauren Baldwin is Tariq's girlfriend. And I said, Saxe is so fucking dumb. Either Saxe is dumb or Saxe is really trying to throw this case for Tariq because he hates Tariq and the St. Patrick family so much. So the prosecutor was like, fuck, how do you know that? Saxe is like, well, I heard the thing. I heard the tape. What Saxe should have said was, I saw the heifer outside of your office that day I ran up on you. But the prosecutor's not dumb, so she's like, did Tariq tell you that's his girlfriend on the tape? So Saxe is not even trying to really lie, and she was like, she's in trouble now. Like, I can't do this. Like, is she in danger? And then Saxe is like, it's fine. Like, nothing's going to happen. But now the prosecutor is scared because y'all know anytime somebody tries to cross the Tejadas or the St. Patrick's, bodies pop up. So the next morning they're in class, or later that day, they're in class and they're talking about lying versus withholding the truth. Tariq keeps looking over, noticing that Lauren is not in class. So he leaves class he ends up leaving class when he sees Carrie get a phone call and walk out to take the call because it's from the prosecutor. So he leaves. Carrie is outside on the phone, and it comes to find out that the defense knows that Lauren is the witness and shit is not safe for her. Where is she? So Carrie is shook. Carrie comes back in class and it's like, this is a family emergency. I have to go. She goes running to Lauren's room where Tariq is waiting for her. And they both have this standoff, and it's kind of like, what are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here? So Tariq is like, I'm here to protect her because you know damn well that she's in danger now. And he was like, and it's not from me, which is really not. He was like, and it's not from me. So Carrie is on some like high and mighty type shit. And Tariq calls her out and it's like, why did you convince her to do this over a couple pills? Over some pills that we all know weren't hers, but you convinced her to wear a wire. Instead of calling the parent, instead of calling an adult, instead of getting some legal counsel, Carrie really advised Lauren to wear a wire. And Tariq tells her, so what happened to you, wanting to protect your students, but you were willing to hurt a student to protect your own interests and your own goals. And you can tell that deep down, Carrie knows that she fucked up. She does. She knows that in the grand scheme of things, she messed up. So Tariq tells Carrie that you need to save Lauren, you need to protect Lauren, and you can do that by taking a stand. And Carrie is like, I did not know. And Tariq is like, well, girl, you can go ahead and lie because you don't lie before, right? Lying is not a problem for you. So he tells her that she lies any other time, so lie for the right reason. So we see Monet and Lorenzo walking through Coney Island, and they're just kind of reminiscing. They're reminiscing about going to Coney Island. So Diana comes in and asks, what are they doing? What are they talking about? And they're like, oh, we're getting ready to go. Diana says that she's getting ready to go to Zeke's game. Now, Monet already knows she's really going to Tariq's trial because that's part of the plan. So when Diana leaves, Monet goes ruffling through her stuff, and I thought she was going to find the picture, but she finds some condoms instead. And I'm like, ain't she like 20, 21? Who knows how old any of these kids are at this point? We know how old Drew is, but who knows how old any of them are? So we come to find out that Lauren is in protective custody because the prosecutor, got nervous and flipped out, put her in protective custody. Within the courtroom. She probably just sitting in some chambers, police detail, that type of stuff with her. So Carrie tells the prosecutor, I can take the stand because I did know about Tariq, knowing that the book was about him. So the prosecutor is like, why the fuck you ain't say nothing? Y'all, Carrie gets on the stand. Okay. This is where it just gets hectic. Carrie's on the stand. She said that she has always suspected that Tariq has something to do with the murder. But she never said anything because she would never harm a student for her own personal gain. And she kept looking at Tariq like kind of be like, I didn't do this to really hurt Lauren. It's just kind of something that happened, right? So Davis cross-examines her. Asks if she had a sexual history with the lead investigator, talking about Detective Whitlock. Or they called him Detective Whitman today. I thought it was Whitlock. But, the old annoying guy. And she was like, yes. And he was like, did you have a sexual relationship with me? And she was like, was after doing anything? So then he was like, and then you were, sleeping with Zeke, who was your student, and then Jabari. And he was like, so what is the reason that students are not supposed to sleep with teachers? And as we all know, that it's because teachers have more power, so that students feel like they have to submit and that they have to give in to whatever sexual advances or sexual prowesses happen. No matter what happens, even if the student comes on to the teacher, it always looks as if the teacher had power over the student who is an insubordinate. So he accuses Carrie of lying, because that's what she does. Because if you lied about messing with Zeke, how do I know you're not lying about Tariq right now? And I said, damn, what a great cross. That was such a great cross. And then he tells her, if I were you, I would start updating my resume. Now, on one hand, do I think that Carrie deserved to lose her career and her livelihood? No, I don't. However, Carrie, you did all this. You messed all this up because 1, you should have been more discreet when you were sleeping with Zeke. 2, you should have never got Lauren involved in this bullshit. 3, you should have never tried to pinpoint this all on. You should have never tried to pinpoint this all on Tariq. And 4, you probably just should have quit. You probably should have resigned and went to a different school to teach at. So damn, Carrie. So then we see Monet and Lorenzo walking through Coney Island. They're reminiscing. They're talking about their future, where they want to go from here, just for the family and their relationship, etc., etc. So we see Kane is at Mecca's place. And now the heist is getting ready to start. So there is a power outage. Chef goes to check on it. And while he's down checking, probably with the front desk, Mecca gets a call that there was a shootout down in the hangar. So it's some GTG people going against Mecca's people down there. So while that's going on, Mecca is like, we got to go downstairs. I'm being robbed. While that is happening over in the hangar, Kane makes sure to turn the lock so he can leave the door to the apartment ajar. Outside is Brayden, Effie, Drew, and Lil Guap in Brayden's mother's car. Brayden is kind of dumb because I feel like he is constantly using his car and then using like his parents' stuff as if license plates don't matter, or scents or fingerprints or anything like that. So Brayden goes to the front desk and he is distracting the man, saying that he is an e-athlete. For people that don't know what that is, it means that you're a gamer. So he said that he is losing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if he sues the damn apartment building because y'all not working on the power outage, because he could be playing right now. So the man at the front desk panics, goes and was like, I'll go check on this. While he does that, the other three come in. Effie goes and distracts the security guard. Eventually, she's able to swipe her keys from her, kind of lock her into a room by saying that her grandmother fell and she thinks she messed up her hip, whatever the case. So we're in the stairwell, and Drew is walking very, very slowly with Lil Guap following him. And they're talking, and Guap is like, I just want to, thank you for the, bringing me back in and forgiveness and all this other stuff. Gives him some money and gives him some grills as like a token of appreciation and a token of respect. Drew turns around and holds the gun out, and this is what kills me about TV. So Drew was holding the gun and is doing too much holding. Too much talking, not enough shooting. So while they're doing that, Lil Guap tells him, you don't have the balls to kill me. So he is able to knock the gun out his hand. They end up wrestling back and forth. Drew eventually chokes him out, and I feel like chokes him to death with like the top of his shirt, whatever, the pressure with his hands. So now Lil Guap is dead. So Drew goes up to the apartment, and while he's in the apartment, he gets this ring that Dante had, that we saw Dante holding the beginning of the episode when he was on the phone with Monet. So while Drew was up there getting the ring for money and then getting whatever other cash that he had, Mecca gets a phone call, and it's like, I'm getting ready to go back up to the apartment. Or he sends Chef back up to the apartment. So now Drew is up there while Chef is coming back up there. They got a bunch of guns, and we've seen how cutthroat Chef is. So Kane is kind of looking like fuck. So Kane is standing in the hangar with one of the other little henchmen, and he gets a phone call from Diana. He presses ignore, but the guy can't see that he didn't answer. So he fakes like he's getting a call from Mecca so that he can leave. Because he has to go, make sure nothing happens to his brother and that the plan goes according to plan. So up in the apartment, Chef is now up there now. So Drew texts Kane, what the fuck? Somebody is in here. So Drew like hauls ass running up them stairs and starts screaming for Chef like somebody was in there for real. And it's like, Mecca just told me that we got to go down and get the rest of the GTG people. And Chef is like, I didn't hear that. What the fuck is going on? Chef is confused AF, right? So he's arguing while he's talking to him. Drew is able to slip behind him and go downstairs and get out of the apartment safely and get down into the car back with Effie and Brayden. Yes. So Tariq then gives the ring to Davis for payment and tells him, you can hawk this, pawn this, do whatever you got to do. Take your payment out of that. And then Davis tells him, good job getting Carrie on the stand. Tariq said, I ain't had nothing to do with that. And Davis is like, oh, you were trying to protect your little girlfriend. I get it. So we see back at the Tejada house. Shit gets crazy. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Diana cooked dinner. Everyone is there. Zeke is at the house. So everyone, they've talked, though, Diana asked everybody, where was everybody today? Everybody's lying. Everybody's lying, right? Lorenzo would say, well, me and your mom were at Coney Island, and there he's trying to reminisce, and he's like kind of talking to Kane about, like, you know, remember when we took you as a kid? While Kane is saying how the food don't smell good and there's no meat, and he was like, stop it. Your sister cooked? Let's be thankful for that, right? So Diana starts talking about Tariq a little too much. She starts giving out too many details, right? To where Kane is like, your little boyfriend is going to jail. And Diana's like, Tariq is not going to jail because his professor took the stand, Carrie. And Zeke is like, Carrie? So basically, it turns into the scene from Why Did I Get Married? With the spilling of the secrets. So Diana feels attacked. So she tells Kane, I know you sugared the cane so you can be the connect. So Monet is pissed. And Monet is like, is that fucking true? Did you do that? Lorenzo is pissed now. And Kane said, yeah. I did it because you were putting Tariq before me. So now Lorenzo feels disrespected because you went against the family in a sneaky ass way to weasel your way back in. So Kane said, well, don't get mad at me because Drew didn't even kill Everett. So now Lorenzo was mad at Drew because Everett is still alive. So then Monet calls out Diana and said that she knows that she's been lying and that she not only went to Tariq's trial, but that she's sleeping with him. So then you have the comments from the brothers. You sleeping with that nigga? I knew you was going to give it up for that nigga. So now Lorenzo was mad because I told all of y'all asses to stay away from Tariq. So Diana tells Monet, you got some nerve to be talking about somebody sleeping, especially since you are sleeping with some dude named Dante. So Monet jumps up and is ready to yoke her ass up. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. I mean Zeke's dad. And Zeke is sitting there, huh? My dad, that wasn't real. That wasn't real. My dad is in, and I'm like, Zeke, baby, keep up. Keep up, Zeke. Keep up, sweetheart. So now, like, Monet is trying to grab at them, and Zeke is so confused. So Diana slams the birth certificate on the table and was like, look at it. And Zeke's dumb ass is just sitting there. She was like, look at it. Look at the shit. And Zeke was like, this is not my birthday. Zeke thinks he was born in 2002. Zeke was born in 1998, which makes Zeke 23 years old, which means that Zeke has now broken violation by the NCAA rules, which means what? Zeke can't enter the draft. So now Zeke is like, I can't go pro. I can't enter the draft. It's going to look like I was trying to do some shady shit. So now he's yelling at Monet that you have ruined my life. You have ruined everything. This is all your fault. So Monet tells Diana, I'm going to kill you, bitch. And I believe her. Diana might be dead. There's how many episodes left? 2. Diana might be dead by episode 10. She might be. So then Lorenzo tells Monet that she needs to leave the house. Very calm and creepy, like, I think you need to go. I said, damn. I have just, Lord. So then we see Dante is at the GTG headquarters, and he goes and kills everybody. He's looking for his drugs. Can't find them. He says, so now we just need to take care of the inside man. And he's standing in front of Chef, and he's standing in front of Kane, and he slits Chef's throat. And I'm like, damn. So Kane, on one hand, is a sigh of relief that, whoo, Lord, he didn't catch me. And then it's also on some, yeah, we did that shit. But Dante is looking at Kane a certain way because Dante does not fully trust Kane either. Kane might be dead. Look, I don't know who's going to die. I guarantee y'all somebody's going to die, though, by this season finale. Somebody's going to be dead. Dead to the ground. So we see Carrie sitting at home and she has a drink because she's stressed. She had a fucking day, right? So she gets a text from the dean saying, can you come to work a little early? Which means, girl, I need you to come in and turn in your badge. And we need to reassign your classes because you're done. And then she has a text from Zeke, and it's Zeke asking to see her. Or was it her asking to see Zeke? It was a text between her and Zeke. And Monet is out driving around, calling Zeke. She done got kicked out the house. Zeke's not answering, so she goes to Carrie's house. And she asks Carrie, have you seen Zeke? Carrie said, I honestly have not. We have not been talking much lately. So Monet said that she just lost her whole life by being caught up in a lifetime of lies. Carrie said that she can relate because she just lost her career and her integrity. So we see Effie, Tariq, and Brayden are all together in the boys' room. And Brayden, who is an adrenaline junkie, is talking about how we were doing this and swerving. And she was like, we were going 60. We weren't speeding at all. We were in a minivan. But Brayden leaves, and basically Tariq tells Effie that Lauren was wearing a wire, and that's what got him caught up. And Effie was like, word? And Tariq was like, it wasn't really her fault. So, like, Tariq kind of understands. He's still mad, but he understands that it's not like Lauren was just on some grimy, I'm going to try to catch you type stuff. She did get tricked into it. And I think that Carrie taking a stand really confirmed for Tariq that it wasn't all on Lauren out here trying to be grimy for real. So Tariq says that Effie says that Lauren is a bad influence on Tariq because when Tariq is with her, he's not himself. He's trying to present a self, a form of himself that he's not. And Tariq says because he's been trying to protect her. And Effie was like, it seems like Lauren was trying to really protect herself. And I'm like, in a sense it was, but we also know that all three of these heifers have been trying to vie for Tariq's attention. Hell, every other night he's sleeping with a different one of them. One of these three is going to come up pregnant. It's a matter of time. So, Tariq tells Effie, I thought you weren't trying to get attached. She said it's too late. So I'm like, who is Tariq going to end up with? I still think Tariq is going to end up with Lauren. And then he's going to end up with Lauren, which kind of turns on Effie. And I think he's going to get Diana pregnant. So I think all three of them are going to be involved in him and in his life for a while, just in different roles. So then finally we see Zeke is walking up the stairs to Carrie's apartment because she said, come see him. So I'm wondering if she texted him. He gets up there and the door is kind of open. And when he opens the door, we see feet dangling. And Carrie is, we don't know if Carrie hung herself or if Monet hung herself. But Professor Caridad Milgram is dead. DOA. What a fucking episode, y'all. Woo! So if you're brand new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, y'all. Hop into the comment section and let's talk about this episode. Catch y'all in the next one.